Hello, hello. Thank you for being here today. I'm sure at this point, if you're watching the recording of me today facilitating a workshop, a class with Wake Up Everybody community. And today's topic is simply Q&A with Kadeem. So thank you everyone for being here, for watching. I see that we are now live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook people. Thank you so much for joining in today, for being here. I'm Kadeem Alston-Roman. I am your facilitator today for day number 681, Q&A with me, Kadeem. Thank you all for being here. I have lots of things I feel like I want to share, and I've been sharing throughout my entire time with this Wake Up Everybody community, and I'm going to share more about that. And I feel like sometimes when we get to the end of a session, people have things that they want to ask. Oh, can I ask this? Can I ask that? Can I, what's this about? We don't always have time to get to all the questions. So this is a time, this is a day to ask me, I want to say anything, but it's not anything, because if you ask me a question about how deep is the ocean, I will not know that answer. But you know who does? Google. You can ask Google the question. You can ask me certain questions in regards to different things. Again, I will mention what's, sort of a bit of my background. You can ask me questions based off of the knowledge that I have, and hopefully I can answer. And if I can't, I'll just say, sorry, it's not on my wheelhouse. I can't answer that. But maybe here's someone or some offering, maybe someone that can answer that for you. So that's what's going to be happening. Okay, I see that there's some folks I see that came in the Zoom space. I'm going to say hello to those people. Who do we have here? We see Adam. Good morning, Grand Rising. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. We have Gina, my girl Gina. Hey, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks for being here.
Sure.
How you
Good
doing,
morning,
brother Kadeem? How
everyone.
you doing?
Thank you. Good, Adam. Great. I'm good, Adam. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Who else do we have in this space? Let's see. Doreen, did I say that correctly? I'm sorry if I didn't.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. Okay. Doreen, welcome into the space. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's early, 7 a.m. on a Sunday. Y'all could be in late today, but you are here on the Wake Up Everybody community. So thank you so much for being here this morning. Who else do we have? Afia, hello. Grand Rising, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I see Adam says, you are getting your abs, lower back, chest, and arms right. I get it. Today's the day to do it, right? Nice and early, Sunday morning. Morning workout is a great way to, start the day, be active, kind of sweat, get the energy moving, get the oxygen flowing. So yeah, great thing to do very early in the morning. I realize sometimes working out early in the morning gets me ready for my day too. So yeah, that's great. So I'm glad you're out there and about doing that. So, all right, we're gonna get started.
Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, it's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, it's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Grand Rising. Thank you all for being here this Sunday morning, September 25th, 2022. I'm your facilitator today, Kadeem Alston-Roman. Thank you for being here this morning. I want to honor the space, this community, Wake Up Everybody community. Glad to be here in communication and in connection with you all. Want to also honor the folks working in the background to make me look pretty and great on camera and behind the scenes. So want to honor Shawnee from the Wake Up Everybody community, who's here in the background doing tech, and also Z, who's in the background doing tech. So they will be chiming in and sort of communicating with you in the chat or using their voice to assist in today's session, in addition to doing background stuff. So want to honor them in their support this morning. So today is I feel like it's more of a different workshop today, because usually when I've come on the Wake Up Everybody community, and I've been here really since it started, and I kind of want to also say there was a I'm calling it the Wake Up Everybody community, and Shawnee, the producer of Wake Up Everybody, she started a series. I think it was 2018, 2019, I believe, Sean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but started a series called Keep It Up. And she invited facilitators to come on and offer their expertise based off a variety of different topics. So I remember the first thing she was doing was the Keep It Up series. And then I believe during COVID, started the really heat of COVID, started doing the Wake Up Everybody series. So that particular I feel like those particular moments gave me a chance to kind of show off some of the things that I can do in regards to the things that I have certifications and trainings in regards to wellness. I realized that I've usually just dive into the material, but I've never actually said, hey, this is my story. This is my story. This is my song. Okay, for my Christian folk out there. So I guess I'll start with my story. So born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Baptist Black tradition church. Went to different churches in Brooklyn. First started off going to East New York, a church in East New York called Bethlehem Baptist Church for a few years. And I think now they're called Bethlehem Nation on Linden Boulevard. And then a few years later, went to St. Paul's Community Baptist Church, also in East New York, and spent the majority of, I would say, my upbringing there. Under Reverend Dr. Johnny Ray Youngblood. And as I was doing that, was also doing lots of learnings and trainings, specifically in arts. My mother, she is a fierce lady, triple threat, dancing, acting, singing. She toured the world doing that when she was younger, before she had me. And then she had me and slowed down for a bit in regards to her touring, but we're still performing, and actually danced in the dance ministry at the time at St. Paul's Community Baptist Church. And I would sometimes go with her to rehearsals and just sit there and watch. And people used to say when I was younger, I used to be very quiet. I didn't speak a lot. I was very quiet. But I feel like I was quiet because I was taking things in. And I feel like for me, I was taking things in so I can sort of use them to help further my life when I got older. But I also realized for me that I believe that my gift is listening. Like I can talk, and I realized that I later on in life, probably starting in high school, I kind of became more of a social butterfly in high school, especially college. But I realized, to me, I feel like my gift is like listening, like taking things in, listening, so that I can then offer support as needed. So again, started off doing arts things when I was younger, state training and acting and dancing, and then really fell in love with the choreography and was choreographing, was doing that a lot. Went to high school in Manhattan, LaGuardia High School of Performing Arts. I was a theater major there, and then went off to college in Pennsylvania, went to Muhlenberg College in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Actually, this weekend is actually my 10th year anniversary for my college. This weekend I did not go because I was in Austin, Texas. I did not go, but yeah, 10-year anniversary, and I double majored there in dance and theater. So my freshman year of college, As I said, I was a dance major, double major dance and theater. And my freshman year of college, 2 weeks into the semester, my freshman year, I had a foot injury. And I went to different doctors. They're trying to figure out what was wrong. No one could really figure it out. And I couldn't dance for the rest of the semester at all. The first semester of college, I wasn't dancing because I couldn't dance because I had a foot injury. So near the end of the semester, my mom at the time, she started studying some energy healing work and said, hey, you know, I'm started studying this stuff. Maybe I can try it on you, see what happens. Maybe it'll reduce the pain. Like, what? Energy healing? Like, what's that? And she explained a bit, oh, you know, it's like this, like a no touch massage. I'm kind of gonna work with your, at the time she called the aura, but science is now realizing it's a thing and it's calling it the biofield, the electromagnetic field. She's like, yeah, I'm just gonna work with that field. And I was like, oh, okay. So you're not gonna touch me at all. And I'm not gonna feel this pain. Okay, how'd that work? Tell me how that works. You're gonna wave your hand in front of me and it's gonna, okay, but you know, you're my mom, so I'll give it to you. So yeah, she did the session with me and y'all, 20 minutes later, the pain that I had for months disappeared, went away. It's like, what happened? What happened? It was gone. So that led me into this journey, community of wellness, holistic wellness specifically. So my mom at that time started teaching me what she was teaching me for upkeep with my foot, so that when I was in college, I can sort of keep doing the work on myself. So then that was freshman year, and then sophomore year, I decided to kind of, well, also I was doing this too freshman year, but I started experimenting on the work that she taught me with other people. And I was like, oh, I'm getting results too. I remember specifically, there was a friend of mine in my sophomore year of college who had whose throat was hurting, and he was going on a trip. It was like, he said, I'm not sure how I'm going to make it on this trip. My throat's hurting, you know, but I have to go for this class. I said, okay, you know, I said, I'm gonna work with you, do some energy healing and see what happens. So I worked with him, but he was not in the same place with me. So I worked with him remotely. And I was like, all right, let's see if this works. I know there's a way to do this work remotely. We'll see what happens. So I worked with him, and after that, 5 minutes later, I called him up and said, hey, just checking in, how's your throat? He was like, oh, wow, the pain's gone. And I was like, amazing. So I was like, all right, now I feel like a magician. Who can we work on next? Like, what's happening, right? So that work started. It was great. It was amazing. But then I realized something was that although my mom taught me this work and it was great, there were certain aspects of what she was teaching me, I realized that, not that it was incorrect, but it was not the full scope of the work. Meaning that the work that I do, the particular energy healing system that I was working with these people in, is a system called pranic healing. Pranic healing. And in some ways, I know some people might know Reiki. In some ways, it might be similar to Reiki in regards that it is energy healing system, but pranic healing, who was started by Grandmaster Choa Kak Sui, he was a engineer by trade, so the system is very, very codified. So it's like almost like a cookbook approach. So for every single element, you're doing something different. So I realized that I kind of had half of the cookbook, and although I was still getting results, I realized that certain things I was doing were unhealthy for me to do. So I had to back off for a bit because I had some sort of energetic spiritual side effects from doing the work and not knowing the full recipe. So I had to back off a bit. So we backed off for a bit and then took my first official class in energy healing, pranic healing in June 2013. And then that spearheaded the journey for me. And from then on, started studying other modalities, from aromatherapy to hypnotherapy, which is using the art of hypnosis to help treat or cure something. Aromatherapy, as I mentioned, using smells to help treat or cure something. Sound therapy, using sound or vibration to help treat or cure something. And lastly, meditation. So people think meditation is to clear the mind, which it can help you clear the mind. But meditation really allows you just to really focus on one particular thing. It gives you like a one-pointed focus at one particular thing, at one particular point in time in the moment, so that you can operate in the future and even in the present better. So yeah, so that's a bit of my journey, my experience, the things that I've done in my life. And again, started with the Wake Up Everybody community, but the pre-Wake Up Everybody community with the Keep It Up series that Shawnee produced. And I've done everything on this Wake Up Everybody community, from facilitation, from pain management to energetic protection, how to protect yourself energetically, to meditation, to energy healing, to sound therapy, to manifestation and materialization, to even dance. Got added in some of my dance background on that too. So that's a bit of my journey. So I shared a bit of my bio with you, a little mini autobiography with you all. And I feel like I know that there's been some folks in the chat saying things, but I'm gonna stop here. I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna take a pause and see if the admin, if you want to chime in, or if anyone has any comments or questions.
All right, thank you for sharing, Kadeem. And I love once again how your memory works. Keep It Up actually happened around this time of year in 2018. And it got created because I was conscious, and I'm thinking about this now, that the season change and the shift of a lot of light to darkness being the more dominant or present energy has an impact on people. And it was called Keep It Up, which is the light, the energy during the dark time. So it means literally, because we have more darkness now, and people have like seasonal affective disorder and just a lot of different things going on in the shift in the body. And then Keep It Up, capital UP, is like your affirming energy, your optimism, like all of that. And I thank you for saying yes during that time. That was a really powerful series because you were a part of it and others. So yeah, so I want to speak about this shift in the body and what darkness does to us. So, you send distance healing. I think about there are people that are in the world that darkness dominates for the majority of the year. I think about people who live in Alaska. And there's a rhythm the body has and a relationship with light. And so I would love to hear from you what you believe is happening with us when we shift, when the light shifts and the darkness envelops us, and what the benefits are to that, and also some of the low vibrational things that can happen that can impact us. I'm curious about your thoughts regarding that and how we can counter that and balance ourselves out.
Yeah, that's great. Great question. Yeah, I realized that, usually when it's light outside, right, people tend to feel better and feel excited, and yay, it's summer and the sun's out and all that stuff, which is amazing, which is great. But then there are moments in which, as Johnny said, it's dark. There's darkness. I mean, there's parts of the world where they have darkness for 24 hours for a number of months. So how do you combat that? So realizing that if we look at the science behind it, realizing that there's something called heliotherapy. Heliotherapy. So therapy really just is a word that just really means a means to treat or cure something. That's therapy. So helio responds to the sunlight. So there's something called heliotherapy, in which sometimes practitioners, doctors tell people that they need to stand in the sun for a certain number of minutes so that the body can be well and operate better. Why is this? because the sun naturally helps the body in healthy amounts, and healthy amounts helps the body create a space of homeostasis, meaning it allows the body to do all the things it needs to and set up all the amazing neurotransmitters in the brain to help the body find a state of balance and peace within it. So the sun has that effect, again, within healthy amounts. I'm not saying stand outside for 2 or 3 hours in the heat. I mean, when I was in Texas, in Austin, you know, of course, Texas is warmer for sure than New York City, but the sun is different in Texas. I don't know if y'all been, but the sun is different. It's almost like there's like no ozone layer and the sun just hits you. And I'm like, gosh, the sun. It's not the heat, it's the sun. So realizing in healthy amounts, being in the sun is great because again, it helps the body in many ways, helps to find the state of homeostasis and balance. Now, if you look at it from the energetic perspective, energetics and the esoteric space, spiritual space, the sun has its own consciousness. The sun also has its own, we're going to go there today. So just so you know, we're diving in deep. The sun has its own consciousness. The sun also has its own divine being. Do you know how the earth has its own like divine being? We pray to God, right? The sun also has its own divine being, its own God, so to say. And that divine being is just a giver. It's meant to give, it gives off the light to the earth, but also radiates light, also to help the energy and help elevate the consciousness also of humanity. So that's the sun. So there's many benefits of enjoying the sun, of enjoying the light, but also realizing that if we look at it also esoterically, we realize we say certain things that also connect with light. So we say, oh, when someone is really intelligent, what do we say? That person, oh, they're very bright. Why? Bright. Because that means that they have a certain sense of light within their brain, within their mind, to help dispel darkness. So usually when people say, oh, this person is my guru, or this person is a guru, guru is a Sanskrit word, which really means, it could mean teacher, but it also means literally dispeller of darkness. So dispelling the darkness. Realizing though, and I'll say this, is that I know Shoni also mentioned this, wanting to know the benefits of both, realizing that we think of darkness as bad, but sometimes darkness isn't all that bad. Of course, there are the elements of it where it's like darkness, it might be, other things can come with darkness. Fear, confusion, not necessarily knowing where to go, different pain, anguish on one end. But on the other end, darkness can also signify a transition to something new, a transition to a change to affect you in a better way. So I'll give you an example. Living in New York City, being in New York City, maybe for those that aren't, so New York City, it's an island essentially. Not like Puerto Rico or the Bahamas, very tropical, but it's still an island nonetheless. And if you are in Manhattan specifically, Manhattan really is the island itself, not really New York City, but Manhattan is the island. If you need to go anywhere else in the city, so let's say Manhattan to Brooklyn, Manhattan to Queens or something, you usually have to maybe go over a bridge. But sometimes you go in a tunnel. If you're going from New York City to Jersey, you go either through where? The Holland Tunnel, the Lincoln Tunnel. And the tunnel is dark, right? You can't see. It's much darker than it is outside. But that tunnel that's dark, it's taking you somewhere. It's a transition from literally one state to another. But the darkness can also be a transition from one emotional, mental, spiritual state to another as well. So realizing that darkness has its place. Also think about it this way. Like we think about there's something called, in esoteric teaching, something called the darkness of the soul. So realizing that the soul naturally is light, naturally has its own intelligence, its own spiritual consciousness, but there's something called the darkness of the soul. And at some point in life, you might realize, why does it seem like everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now? What is happening? That could be because you're experiencing the darkness of the soul. What does that mean? That means that in order for the soul to transcend, to go from one state or space to another, it has to go through a tunnel. It has to go through this tunnel of darkness. And it's almost like if you are in school and you're in a particular grade, and in order for you to get to the next grade, what do? Usually? Take a test, right? Studying for the test, it can be difficult, it can be hard, it's stressful, you might be up late trying to study, all these things. You get to the test, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous, I'm taking this test. That's a space of darkness. But then what happens? If you pass the test, you do really well, you go on to the next grade. So in the same way, the soul needs to go into this space of darkness, of testing, so it can go on to the next grade or the next state of consciousness. So there's a space for darkness in our life to sometimes help us to transition to a new space. Hopefully that answers the question. Any other questions?
Yes, thank you. That was awesome. More than I was anticipating. I'm like, yeah. Other questions, family. You have folks sharing about the sun and the impact in Arizona. You know, a lot of stuff opened up. And this is a space where, for those who have just arrived, any question that you would like to ask Kadeem, he is open to answering them. If you can drop the series of questions into the chat, because some folks just landed. I see that Nicholas or Quasi has, do you practice shamanic healing or shamanic journeying?
Great question. No, I don't.
Quick answer.
Quick answer. Good question, quick answer. I don't. I mean, I know folks that do, and if that's of interest to you, I can sort of guide you to those folks, but I don't. But I think shamanic healing is definitely powerful. It's something that I deeply admire. For those, I will say this. For those that are true shamans, because there are some shamans who, I'll call them fast food shamans. Like, they do it the quick way. They take this course in shamanism. Okay, great, now I'm a shaman. But are you though? Like, your shamanism, what you study, and the quickness of how you did it, and you saying you're a shaman, there might be other things you might need to learn. So you might be a fast food shaman. Yeah, there might be some benefit, but it ain't really all there. Like, it ain't gonna give you the breadth or depth that you need. And it may not necessarily be as healthy. But for those that are true shamans that have been practicing it, that have the deep intuitive nature, that it's definitely powerful. Thanks for the question though.
All righty, let's see. So Nicholas was saying pranic healing sounds amazing. I've seen the book before. Zhao Kuksu. I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah, the founder, yes, it's Choa Cox, who is still alive.
Thank you. Still alive. Is he still alive? There are no energy learning centers in my area. Could I still learn to practice this solo? Oh.
Great question, Quasi. So no, so Grandmaster Choa Koksui, he passed away in 2005. I believe that's when he left the body. And realizing that, speaking about this, there's a whole particular, really, science behind passing and people passing, and realizing that when they pass away, when they transition, that's what it is. It's a transition. They're just no longer in the physical body, but they're still around. They're still around in the energy realm, still around in the spiritual realm. I could go a bit deeper than that, but I'll leave it there. But they're still around. But if someone asks me a question about it, I'll go deeper. But I'll leave it there for now. They're still around. Yeah, so he's not in the physical body anymore, but he's definitely, his teachings definitely are still around. He's written, so many books and translated into over 27 different languages for different books he's written. So he's not around, but there are different pranic healing centers throughout the world that you can sort of go and study. Now, Nicholas, where are you? That's the question. Where you at?
He's in Michigan.
I'm in Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan. I'm trying to think. Michigan. Who is over Michigan? It might either be, so there's 2 pranic healing masters that are in the US. So there's 9. There's 9 pranic healing masters right now in the world that was certified as masters through Grandmaster Choa Kaksui. And there are different parts of the world, but the masters kind of oversee different parts of the regions in the world. So there's 3 masters here in the US. So there's Master Ko, who's based in the West Coast. And then there's Master Marilag and Master Glenn, who are based on the East Coast, but they kind of split up the US in a certain way so they can sort of take each take a certain part. I will look this up for you and figure out who is over Michigan, and I can find out where you can take a class in the Michigan area. But if there's not a class in the training in the Michigan area, then there are a few resources that I can give you. One is Master Choa Kaksui wrote a book. Oh, I know you said that you've seen the book, I think, before. But he wrote a book called Miracles Through Pranic Healing. That was his first book. So Miracles Through Pranic Healing really does give you the step-by-step approach to learning pranic healing. So you can read the book and try it out. Also, just make sure you just follow the steps. There's like a recipe, just make sure you follow the steps to make sure you're doing things correctly. Of course, it helps to take a class because certain things learned in the class that the book really can't teach. And I think it's better just to kind of be under the energy also of someone who's been there, done that, and has been studying the work for many years. So I would say first check out or get the book if you haven't. I know you said that you saw one, but if you don't have the book yet, Miracles Through Pranic Healing, get that. Second thing I'll suggest you do is go to, it's just pranichealing.com. Pranichealing.com, there are also online courses you can take as well. So virtual. So you can do online virtual courses and learn how to do pranic healing that way. If you go to pranichealing.com, maybe I'll put this in the chat so you know what I'm talking about. So go to pranichealing.com. That's in the chat for you, and you can definitely go check out the online courses that are there. And then I'll put in the name of the book by Master Choa Kaksui, Miracles Through Pranic Healing. Master Choa Kaksui. And this is a good start. And I will, again, I will check out and sort of figure out what's happening in Michigan regarding training, and I'll get back to you. Can you actually shoot me an email so I can? I'll put that off in the chat. So you can just email me and let me just email me so I can have your email, and I'll kind of do some research and figure out if there's someone in the Michigan area that can train you. Yeah. Oh, I see. It says you got the course too. You're halfway through. Which course do you have? I have quite a few.
I got your course on manifestation last time you was on here.
Oh, great. So you're halfway through. How has it been so far?
I really dig it. Yeah, I really like it. You got this distinguishing thing about if you keep telling like the universe, like, I really need this thing, I think you might be repelling it or something like that. Like just really watching like the energy around it, and that resonated with me because sometimes I want something so bad I feel like it slips between my fingers sometimes. So it's just interesting. Like it's having me like hold the energy in a different way, you know.
That's awesome. That's good. That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, there's definitely something, in the materialization manifestation world, people always talk about, oh, the secret, right? The secret. And oh, law of attraction, law of attraction. All that stuff is great. That's amazing. But there's many other laws, which I speak about in the course. There's many other laws than law of attraction that you need to really manifest things. And what Kwaj is talking about is there's something called the law of repulsion that also happens as well. And law of repulsion, works in different aspects, but one of the main aspects that works is like telling the universe, I want this, I want this, I really want this, I really want this. Universe responds to your vibration, not what you say, boo. So you keep saying, I want this, I want this, I want this. What you're really telling the universe is, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. The universe is gonna keep giving you what you don't have. So yeah, it's a real thing. Thank you so much for sharing, Kwasi. I appreciate it.
I saw that Z's hand was up. Thank you, Quaz. Z, you ready?
Actually, there was another question that came into the chat. So I'd like Deborah McKinney asked, what do you suggest for releasing grief? So if you want to address that first, and then I'll express my question.
Yes, Deborah, good question. Releasing grief. Can I ask what kind of grief and for how long you've had it for?
Good morning. I think a lot of it is related to I forget the term, what my therapist said, but my father has Alzheimer's and cancer, and so it's like you're preparing for death before death happens. And you're also, I think, so grieving that, but also just the process of seeing the changes that have happened because of the Alzheimer's and just the aging process, and just kind of letting go of what was and accepting that. So it's just, I guess it's not death that has happened, but it's the loss, losing the person in front of you, even though they're still there, but also kind of accepting that life is going on and you have to, still appreciate what you have. But I think some of me is still really dealing with the shock and awe of the pain of it, the witnessing the transition, seeing how it's impacting my mother, who's his primary caregiver. But there's, I wish I could remember the exact phrase though, around where you're kind of just preparing for death. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with that for about 7 or 8 years.
Got it. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Thank you for being so open and sharing. So do you have a pen and paper near you? I'm about to give you all the things you can do for grief. So I'll give you three. I'll give you three things you can do. So the first thing you can do, realizing that if you have breath, there's life in you. And if we knew, because we, of course, breathe every day, it just happens automatically for not all of us in the world, but most of us in the world. Some people don't have that opportunity to do that. But for most of us, we breathe every day without thinking about it, right? So there's a way, though, that you can manipulate the breath to help you in various aspects of your life. So for physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, the breath can really help you release a lot of things. So the first technique I'm gonna give you is a breathing technique. And the way it works is that you would breathe in through the nose rapidly as you put your head back, and then breathe in through the mouth as you put your head down. So it'll go like this. Right, so that's the way it works. And you would do that essentially 10 times in a row. And then you'll concentrate on your heart center, which is more for emotional healing. This part between the eyebrows, which is called the Ajna center or energy center in between the eyebrows, which is for mental healing. And then the top of the crown, which is for spiritual healing. Okay, so let's actually try that all together. And I'll guide you through this, this particular activity. And then after that, I'll share with you the 2 other activities you can do. Okay, so what we're gonna do, family, is we're just gonna breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, 10 times through. I'll tell you to pause. You're gonna concentrate on the heart center, ajna in between the eyebrows, also called ajna or agnya, but we're calling it ajna, top of the head. And focus on that for a few seconds, then we're gonna go back to breathing. All right, so I'll guide you through this. So just close your eyes. And we're gonna do the breathing just 10 sets. Here we go. Breathe in through the nose, out the mouth. Keep going. Good, stop. Focus on the heart, the ajna in between the eyebrows, top of the head, all at the same time. Just keep your focus and attention there. And just notice whatever comes up in this moment. It's good, it's okay. This is a time to release. As you focus on releasing and letting go, where you need to release and let go in this moment in time. Just focusing on the 3 points, letting whatever come up, and come out. Good, let's do the breathing again. Second set, and go in, out. Keep going. Good, stop. Again, focusing on the heart, in between the eyebrows, top of the head. Releasing, letting go. The body might feel a bit interesting as we're doing this breathing. You might maybe even feel a bit lightheaded. That's okay. It's the body starting to release what it needs to release. So releasing it, not just from the mind and the emotions, but also from the body. So letting it release, letting it come up and come out. Focusing on the heart, in between the eyebrows, top of the head. Good, one last time. Breathing, here we go, and go. Breathe in, out. Keep going. Good, stop. And again, focus on the heart center, ajna in between the eyebrows, top of the head, crown. On the 3 points at the same time. It's okay. All is good. Let it come up, let it come out. You're safe. All is good. Okay, you can begin to come back. Okay, so before I talk about the other option, can folks talk about their experience with the breathing? How do you feel now compared to how you felt 5 minutes ago? How you be? How are you doing? We're gonna just talk about the experience. How was that experience for you?
Feel present.
Present. Good. Good. Someone says I feel fabulous. Quasi says lifted. Awesome.
I'll share that I feel lightheaded. Like you said, I felt like some lightheadedness, and but not in a off balancing way, just lighter in my head. So maybe like some pressure kind of just lifted off my head.
Great. That's good. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Hi,
Good.
this is Kaisha. This was surprising to me, this experience in the few minutes that you did it, because you stopped us 3 different times, 3 different thought patterns came to mind, even though I was focusing on the heart, the head, and the eyebrow. And they, within the last 2 years, 3 different memories, which kind of go along with the flow of my healing, my own spiritual and emotional healing. Like I had thoughts on a friendship conversation, potential relationship, and I had thoughts on when as part of my healing, I went to a dance class, and I can't remember the other thought, which is crazy, but it was 3 different scenarios. Oh yes, I had thoughts on the same friend encouraging me to apply for like city council here in my town. Like 3 different scenarios came up in the 3 times that you stopped us. And I just thought that was kind of crazy. And so when you stopped us finally, when you asked us how I felt, I opened my eyes and I was like, where did all that come from? Like I was just really surprised, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think it was good. Not harping on anything negative right now. It was 3 positive scenarios that came up.
That's great. Awesome. Great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I feel like we, in our day-to-day life, we take physical showers, which is great. We also go to the bathroom to release, also as well. But how many times are we taking an emotional shower or a mental shower for ourselves, or releasing things, excreting what we don't need, the excess from our emotional and mental state? We don't usually do that on a day-to-day basis, like we do maybe taking a shower or a bath. So it's important for us to do that. So this is one technique you can do. And can you just believe this is just part 1 on the basic level? Like there are other levels to this technique, more advanced levels to this technique. And also that's a bit longer, sort of next steps for this technique. And the fact that you got benefit from this within those past few minutes is profound. That's great. Amazing. So that's one thing you can do to help release the grief. Second thing you can do is you can use essential oils. So for those that have any essential oils, I would say some of the ones that are really great for releasing grief are lavender, tea tree, frankincense, sage, eucalyptus. Those are some of like the more well-known ones that you can use for releasing grief. And all you do simply, and again, don't have time to go into the details of death, but maybe I'm thinking maybe my next workshop can be about how to release grief, more advanced techniques on how to release grief. But one thing you can do is you can either put the bottle of oil next to your nose or put a drop in your hands, rub it together, and just simply first focus on what you're grieving, and then simply take long, slow, deep breaths, whether the oil's in your hand or it's in the bottle. Take long, slow, deep breaths in the nose, and then out of the mouth. In through the nose, slowly, out of the mouth. And do that for about 2 minutes. And that helps to actually like release some of the grief and some of the patterns of grief within the mind and the body. So that's something else you can do too. Third thing you can do, which I'm sure we all might have heard perhaps before, is writing things down. Some people might call it journaling, like writing it down, because I realize sometimes a lot of things stay in our mind, our brain, our emotions, and sometimes we need a way just to get it out. And writing is a great way to just get it out. So you get out of your system and just write it down, and just say all the things you need to say. Just say it all. And sometimes, like, these things are layered, like an onion. You might think, okay, we do this activity once, breathing once, great, I'm done, great. Do you just take a shower once in your life and you're done for the rest of the time, but for the rest of the time that you're alive? No, you gotta take consistent showers. So in the same way, you have to do consistent upkeep. So whether it's the oils that you use or the breathing technique that you use that we did today, or writing, sometimes you have to sort of keep doing the things because things are layered. It's a layered process. So thanks so much for your question. Hope I was able to offer some insight on that.
Beautiful. So we had a hand raised. Maddie Ness has had her hand up for a while, so she's been patient. You ready, Maddie Ness?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Excuse the bedhead. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here. Part of what my question was also answered. So you said releasing, but I was going to ask about letting go, if you have any suggestions. So like I do, Reiki, I do sound healing, and like sometimes I can get my stuff out myself, but mine actually right now, I've been struggling with more constipation, which I used to get when I was little. TMI, but I'm open. So like recently it's been like more really challenging to let go of things in that sense. And like sometimes I usually can massage myself or doing foot rolling, or I do some EFT and it works. But it's not something's going on. And I'm not a pranic healer, but like I've been studying it for a while. I've tried like Tibetan rice and the rolling and all of that, and it's just like I don't know if you have any concrete like kind of what you just did for grief for that, for like that space and that constipation.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. So let's go back a bit. So you mentioned that you had constipation when you were younger.
Yeah, when I was little. Oh,
when you were little, like how little?
It started, I think, around like, I want to say like 8, and it stayed really like maybe 8, 9, 10. Then it got really bad until like it was bad when I was like 14 years old. Like I'm talking about days and days. Like that's not my situation now, but it was like bad. Like I had to take an enema.
Wow.
Yeah, like we're talking about like a week.
Wow. Okay. So then let's ask you, what was happening around 8?
So I moved from my apartment to my house and away from like my grandparents and my safety.
Move away from your safety around 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is
And
making
then,
me emotional. I don't even know why.
that's good. No, that's good.
Yeah, I know.
We're processing as we go. That's great. That's good.
Yeah.
And then what happened at 14?
14. Oh, I think like 13, 14 was when I started going to high school.
Interesting. So it seems like there are these moments where there's moments of change.
Yeah.
Right? Where maybe perhaps the constipation comes.
Yeah.
Right? So what's happening for you now?
I think I'm like at the precipice of like really clearly having my dreams come true. Like, I don't have a job anymore. Like I do healing pretty much full time. And like I've been working on my website on and off, like I don't know how long. And it's like I don't finish it. And I like just depend on like my referrals and my people. And I think I'm like every time I start to like I'll get like really prosperous and then I'll like go like it'll revert and things like that. And I got out of a relationship a few months ago and I keep like it's like I'm somewhat over the person, but I'm so fixated on like, was this person fooling me when he was like really kind in the beginning? Or did he just actually really go through a challenging time and then change because of that? And I feel like it's affecting my sense of trust in myself.
That's deep.
Yeah,
you just processed a lot of stuff within those few minutes.
So I'm good at that, but
that's great. I want
to do it alone.
Got it. So I'll say this. So I know you're doing wellness healing work full time, which is great. Congratulations. Amazing. Because I know that can be a lot. But I also realize that people who are full-time therapists that do therapy full-time also have a therapist that they see, because it can be a lot. So who is your wellness healer that you go to?
So usually it's my shaman. So like I was supposed to go to ceremony this Friday night, you know, and I had so many things to do this weekend that I was like, I can't, I don't have the space for myself to be able to integrate and rest. So I had to reschedule my like attending. And I do work on myself in that, but I'm not journaling, like I'm not writing it out, and I used to do that. And I'm finding it really challenging to write it out. Like I did like 30 minutes of like moving the body and energy like just 2 days ago. So it's not like I completely don't do anything, but it's the consistency. Like it's like a repulsion towards being consistent. And I have an Akashic Records healer and we do good work together. So I see her. And we get to the, like, you see how we process that quick? I can do that. But then it's like, I know I should keep writing about it, but I'm not writing about it. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
Why not?
right. It's like, I think it's it's that I don't want to face it.
Why?
Because it's painful. And I think I end up ashamed of myself. And I work so hard to get out of shame. I'm afraid of being ashamed again.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. Thank you for sharing. And I realized that even in that, right, that shame, you even mentioned also this thing about trusting yourself. Even in that, you acknowledging that, processing that, is already a step forward towards your healing. Realizing that you as a healer, you already have all the tools that you need, right? To continue that process. You have it within yourself, right? You know things that work for you, even writing. You have your other healers that you work with to sort of help and facilitate your process. Realizing that self-care is important, right? I think as a healer, as people that do this work, we always want to help other people, help them. Okay, yes, we got you. We're going to do this, do all the things. Right? But you can't do all the things if the things within you first aren't set and balanced. You don't take care of self first.
So as you were saying.
Yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So in this space, I just want to remind you, as you continue to take care of others, make sure to care first for the self. And I know that Shawnee put something in the chat. Constipation comes from that as well. holding, not facing, instead of moving forward and releasing.
Yeah, and it's so, again, like the Capricorn, super Capricorn, rational part of me will know and then still like avoid. But I just realized when you were talking, like I lost my mom when I was 19. I'm 32, and it was like what came to me was like, it's not even that I want like a healing. Like I just want to be held by my mom. Like I just want to feel cared for. And I think like when I had to care for myself alone, it reminds me that like I don't have my mom. Yeah, that's what, I think that's really it.
Okay. How have you connected? Well, we're gonna come back to this. Just wait for a second. Okay. Pause. We're gonna pause right there. Just 1 second.
I didn't expect to do all of this. Thank you.
That's fine. That's what this space is for. Okay. Yeah. It is 8 a.m. Sunday, 8 a.m. So I know some folks might want to get off because you have work or church or want to get back and take a nap. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today in this Q&A. Of course, we're going to keep going until 8:15, 8:30. I don't know. We'll keep going at least maybe to 8:15. But I also want to be mindful of time. But for those that have to go up, thank you so much for joining in. I do have a special today because actually today is the new moon today. So new moon represents different things, but it can also represent new beginnings as well. So we're starting new things fresh. So I have a new moon special to work with me, if you would like. As well, for those that are going off, you can work with me 25 minutes for $25. Never done that before in life, ever. So you can do 25 minutes and get a session with me for $25 with me. All the special offer stuff, it is in the chat. You can pay through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and then send an email to Kadeem1. For those that have to get off, thank you so much for joining, for being here. I appreciate you. Until next time, thank you, thank you. All right, so coming back, shifting back. So you mentioned your mother.
Yeah.
Right, wanting to be held by a mother. In what ways have you connected with her before, after her passing?
Like I light candles, I talk to her, I have coffee with her. Mostly like thanking, forgiving, because it beat me a lot. And like making peace with like, yo, you used to fuck me up, but you know, I know you love me too when you beat me up. Cause like for a long time I couldn't acknowledge that. Like it was hard for me to be like, yo, this was fucked up how you beat us, because I felt like I wasn't a good daughter, so I couldn't really say that. So that's pretty much how I do it. Like more candle work. Sometimes I have a conversation, I'll cry and I'll say I miss her, things like that.
That's great. That's good. Have you tapped into dreams with her at all? Yeah,
so she'll come out of my dreams. Usually the dreams with her, I'm like, it's weird because I'll be like, oh, you're alive. Like I thought you were dead like this whole time. And she'll be like it will be that she ran away from her family. And my parents were together till like the last day. But she would say like I'd find out that she had like a boyfriend or something, and she came back and like she's always very stoic. She's not like, she doesn't really talk a lot. Oh, and one time she guided me like a month ago. She guided me through I was taking a course on angel work and stuff. And she was guiding me to connect with the angel, and she was teaching me how to do it. And I was afraid because I grew up Catholic. So like when I was a teenager, I used to hide meditation from her and yoga, thinking it was anti-Catholic. So in the dream, every time I would do something spiritual, I would be like, but wait, like I'm not possessed. Or like I get afraid that she would think, and she's like, what? I'm not tripping. You know? So yeah. So somewhat.
So I wonder then, with that said, so there's a few things gonna offer. So one thing, I know, you have communion with her already with the candle and things, and you said connecting with her in dreams. You mentioned also wanting to be held by her. Is there a way, I wonder if before you sleep, you can set that intention to be held by her, so you can have that dream, so you can feel that, realizing that although we dreaming, we think, okay, I'm dreaming, it's a dream. But dreams also have their own consciousness and also their own energy. And when we dream, sometimes it's not just us dreaming about something crazy or weird, or it's just, nonsensical. Sometimes dreams also have a spiritual, energetic component as well. So if you're able to tap into that before you go to sleep, you can experience that that moment of being held and connected with her. So offer that to you as a option or a suggestion, so you can sort of feel that and feel that love.
I felt that, like when you said it, the way that I got, it let me know that that's definitely going to work. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and thank you.
Constipation, though, I realize there's a few things that we can do for that. I realize sometimes one-on-one work might help with the constipation work to help someone else guide you through that. Do you have any oils at all, essential oils?
Yeah, I have some doTERRA. I have frankincense, patchouli, geranium, and ylang ylang.
Okay. Have you used any of the oils for your constipation yet?
So like when I'm getting ready, I just put them like in certain chakras that like I need help with, or like in my around my throat, but I haven't used them in the way you said, like to release grief, which I could do. I could try that.
So I suggest use a ylang-ylang, put a few drops of a ylang-ylang and rub it on the stomach area. And then use frankincense and slow inhale, slow exhale frankincense while you're focusing on the stomach area as well. That might be a way maybe to release. Let's try that. That might be a first step. See what happens.
Yeah. And I'm definitely going to book you for the 25. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like we did a mini session. Thank you so much for being here, for being so open. Thank you, family. I saw your comments in the chat. You were holding space for our sisters. So thank you so much for holding space. I don't know, do we have any more time for one last question?
Yeah, you have until 8:30, love, so you're good. Okay. It's 8:06. Okay. Love what you just did with Mediness, and I'm sure things have come up for other people. I want to ask you if you would hone in on this, because we've been taught by this society to separate out our minds from our bodies and our spirits when they're all integrated. So when she was speaking, a lot was coming up for me, like all the various pieces, and you were going there with the unpacking, but I don't think the community is always conscious. I know for me, I know this stuff, but I disengage and forget. So can you speak about the integration of these three? Because people say it, but living that and tuning in is a whole different story. So can you elaborate on that, the connection between them?
Yeah. So the mind, body, spirit connection. At first, it's people call it mind, body, spirit connection, which is great. Part of me also just wants to make it one word: mind, body, spirit. Because to me, it's they're all connected, but to me, they're also all one in the same. So like, yes, they're connected, but at the same time, one also affects the other. I mean, sometimes it takes science, sometimes to catch up to things that we already intuitively know, or our spirit knows. And science is now stating that at least 85% of visits to the doctor's office start from some sort of stress. So before something becomes a serious issue, it's stress related. Now you might think, well, I'm not really stressed. I feel like I'm peaceful, I do my meditations, I'm not really stressed. We're realizing stress isn't like there's a lot going on, I feel like I'm going crazy, losing my mind. Stress is anything that takes you out of balance. Anything. So whether it was that heated argument that you had yesterday, that's stress. Whether it was you being on the public transportation in New York City, just holding on to the pole is stress. Why? Because as the train is moving, that's taking your body out of homeostasis, out of balance. That's stress. So we think stress is like this big thing, and it's like, oh, I feel, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy. Stress is literally anything minor, minor or major, that takes you out of balance. And over time, the more your body or your mind is in this stressful space, the more the immune system breaks down, or the immune system kind of pauses for a minute before it can ramp back up. Each time the immune system pauses, it opens a gateway for toxins to come in. Sometimes commercials go, and the free radicals, right. Toxins and free radicals can come in. Meaning that all the sort of negative, bad things, it opens space for all those things to come in, which will then start to affect you on a deeper level, your mind, your body. So realizing, though, that also in regards to the connection is that even when, let's say something might have happened, a big blow up or blowout, right? And you say, okay, you know, I'm gonna calm down from this experience. Realizing that sometimes like your body might have calmed down, maybe your mind might have calmed down from it, but your spirit or energy may still be attached to the situation. It's important for us to disconnect from these experiences. So sometimes we also say, oh, you know, I'm also gonna forgive this person for doing this thing to me. I'm gonna forgive them, I'm gonna forgive them. Okay, I'm gonna forgive them. But also realizing that sometimes we can forgive like mentally. I forgive this person mentally. We may not be forgiving them on a soul or spirit, energetic level as well. I'll say this, even in the way that we talk, even in our language can sometimes be detrimental to us, because sometimes we say things like, I'm just gonna get past this, or I'm just gonna put it behind me. You realizing, what did I just say? I'm gonna get past it. I'm gonna put it behind me. Realizing you put something behind you, it's still there. It's just in back of you. It didn't go away, right? So we have to also realize language is also...
your summer clothes, Amir, not the...
Oh, okay. Please,
check the weather for the next couple of weeks.
All right, now mama's doing what mamas do.
Excuse me, please.
So no, you're fine. So realize that in using our language is also important. To realize it's important for us to disconnect at the same time. So I'm trying to think. Are we going to teach this? We'll teach this. So there is a technique in energy healing. I only know it to have started in pranic healing, but I'm sure there's other rituals that also do it too. This space of disconnecting or cutting cords energetically. I realized for me that sometimes if I'm in a state of like stress or turmoil, if I energetically cut from something, even from someone, sometimes I go, why? Energy, soul, spirit, mind, body, it's all connected. So if I realize if I cut energetically from the situation, from the person, that I'm able to gain more of my energy back, which then allows my body, my mind to have more energy to do what it needs to do to help boost my immune system as well. So here's a simple technique you can do, cord cutting. So let me also say this. So you might say something like, well, the person I had a blow up with or blowout with is my partner. So if I cut cords, does that mean that we're not going to be together anymore? No. That's not what it means at all. All it means is that you're cutting the energy from the situation so that you can have more there, so that you can have more of your energy, and the person can also have more of theirs, so that you can both operate better. So the way it works, very simple way it works, is that you just imagine a samurai sword or sword, like just cutting in front of you, almost like your body. Say this, almost like you have like just a cord in front of you. You think about it this way in regards to old school phones. Like the phones these days, cell phones, they don't have a cord unless you maybe charge it. But even some chargers don't have cords; they're wireless. But the old school phones, landline phones, they have a cord, right? And there's cord connection to the phone itself and to the wall. So if you can imagine like a cord between you and this person, or you and people, or you and this particular event, and imagine a samurai sword or a sword just cutting in front of you, then cutting in back of you. So it's simply visualizing. You can close your eyes and say, okay, imagine cutting the cord. Okay, cutting the cord, cut, cut. You can even use sounds. Simple way you can do that. Just imagine cord cutting, doing that. So let's actually try this one first before I give you the second technique. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and release. And again, deep breath in and release. Last time, deep breath in and release. Good. I want you now to imagine either event, situation, maybe that didn't necessarily go your way, that maybe you're still holding on to. Maybe it's a blowout or argument between you and a person or group of people. Just imagine the situation in front of you, the person in front of you, the people in front of you. And now just imagine a samurai sword cutting the disconnection, the cord between you and the person. And cut, let it cut now on all levels, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, cut now, disconnect. And imagine doing the same thing for the back of you. Imagine the sword now on the back side of you. And again, cutting, let it cut, disconnect, disintegrate all negative entities, energies, cords now. So be it, so it is on all levels. Cut, release, let go. Take a deep breath in and release. Release it all, letting it all go. Another deep breath in and release. Last time, deep breath in and release. Good, you can open your eyes. So that's a simple, a very simple visualization you can do to cut cords between you and something else that's like bothering you. So you can have more energy and more of your own energy. So that's one way you can do it, just visualizing. The second way you can do it is literally using your hand, like karate chop. Hi-ya. So just imagine the cord, like imagine the cords maybe in front of you, and imagine the hands that are going in front of you, and imagine a samurai sword cutting in front. Then imagine you like the back of you, and then cutting again. Then after you do that, just if you have essential oils nearby, put some essential oils on, just kind of cleanse your hands. Or if you have hand sanitizer, we can also just go to the sink and use soap and water. Because I realize it's important for us to cleanse ourselves also. That's one thing that pranic healing, I will say, is really good at compared to maybe some other systems, is that it's really good with like energetic hygiene. So as we're working with someone energetically, the healers, the people, the practitioners are also like wiping their hands as they're working using a particular solution to help wipe their hands so that they can sort of continue to work with practitioners as well. Okay. Any other questions or comments, maybe even based off the last exercise before we close? Thank y'all for being here, by the way, for this Q&A. I know it's, bit of a different format, but hopefully it's been helpful thus far.
Yeah. Z, I know you mentioned earlier that you would wait to share your questions, comments, so anything, because I see that you put in the chat earlier that you've been out of balance for decades, for literally decades, and that your equilibrium is off. So you want to elaborate on what you shared earlier?
Yes, I think it came to me that this is a good time to ask this. So, teeny bit of background. My equilibrium was first severely affected in 1983. I was caught out in a blizzard, unprepared, and it got frostbite in my ears. And literally physically knocked my equilibrium off. I thought I had dealt with it, that I was okay. I found from then that I started falling a lot. And then it was worsened physically and spiritually in 1999. I went with a group on a replica of a slave ship or cargo vessel, 18th century cargo vessel, to the ocean to honor, to put a monument into the ocean to honor the ancestors that didn't make it to the Middle Passage. And we were stranded for a week and a half.
Wow.
The ancestors kept us there. They had some stuff to teach us. And that completely knocked my equilibrium completely off, and things have not been anywhere near okay since then. And I have had, in the last 2 decades, since we came into the new millennium, I've had severe falls. I literally fell flat on my face in the middle of the street. I fell hard on both knees, like just out of nowhere. And I fell and dislocated my shoulder. And so like it's and a lot of the things that I'm experiencing in terms of accomplishing things I set out to accomplish, I believe that they're severely affected by it. And so I don't know if it's fixable, and if it's fixable, how. So it came to me that possibly some of what you do could be helpful to me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I can imagine how that's been difficult over the past few decades for you. Let me just check in with something. Okay, so I think yeah, so I'm just checking in just clairvoyantly regarding maybe what could be happening. So it does definitely seem like that there's still some congestion in the ears, which could be affecting it, like energetically, which needs to probably be cleaned out. Let me ask you, after the trip, when you went to the ocean, after you came back, was anything done in regards to, well, let me just say, being stranded is scary as heck. Being in the ocean, especially doing, the work that you were doing. When you came back, did anyone talk about the experience in regards to finding ways to clear things up? Because I mean, certain things, when you kind of do that work in regards to honoring ancestors, I realize for myself that sometimes if I'm dealing with ancestors, we think, okay, they're ancestors, they've ascended, so they're all in the light. However, I've realized that sometimes ancestors, the way that they were back when they were on Earth, they're the same way in the spiritual realm. They haven't ascended to a higher place and they're quote unquote a better person because they're in the spiritual realm. Sometimes some of the energy still stays, and sometimes the ancestors, some of their more negative qualities when they were on Earth still exist energetically. So just because they ascend doesn't mean that they're now clean and clear and their soul is clear and their spirit is clear. That doesn't necessarily always happen. So I realize sometimes then with ancestors, you have to sometimes ask for like the highest version of them, or sometimes their highest natures, because sometimes some of the sort of negative natures can also come. So I'm just curious, after the experience, was there any clearing or cleansing done with the group?
Actually, as you say it, no. And as you're talking, I'm thinking about the experiences that we had on that ship. Those ancestors were angry.
Right.
And in extreme emotional, spiritual pain.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an empath. And I didn't know I was an empath until within the last, actually, it became really clear since Woo. Some things had happened maybe within the few years before Woo that let me know that that was part of why I'm so all over the place. But Woo helped me clarify that that's a huge part of why I'm so all over the place, because I'm picking up everybody's energy. And I picked all of that up when I was on that show.
Right. Yeah, that's what it seems like. So I mean, I definitely see the thing in the ears. So that's definitely probably from the blizzard. That probably needs to be cleaned out. But I asked that because I'm like, yeah, this. You are not. How do I say this? Z is not the only soul attached to you. There are other folks that are trying not that they're attached, but in the same way that I spoke about cords, like there are these cords that are still attached. So all we have, I think, definitely clearing out the ears, but also doing some work to kind of cut some of these cords to kind of release folks back into their realm so that you can continue to live in your realm and do what you have to do as well. Because it seems like some of that stuff is connected, and some of the falling and off balance stuff post that have been to what you have felt, has been due to the anger, has been due to the emotional turmoil also as well. So certain things need to be cleared up. I know we only have like 4 minutes left. So let me first say this, and then I'll get back to you specifically. Anyone that does work with ancestors, ancestral work, ancestral rites, I suggest that you do 2 things. Okay. First thing, before you even do ancestral work, first ask for protection from your divine guides, your divine helpers, from the angels, from divine source, before you do any work. Because again, it's almost like this way. Imagine you going into a room with 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 10,000 people. You may be trying to give a talk or honor them. Are they all going to be listening to you? Like, yes, I believe everything you say. No, like we have to think about it almost as if they're still in their earthly realm, right? If people are still on the earth, like how would they respond if they're in their earthly realm? But realizing that we think because they've ascended that they're now these masters and they're all spiritual. That's not the case. That's not the case. We have to realize that when we do ancestral work, we're still dealing with people that might still have connections to what's happened to them on Earth in that particular lifetime and other previous lifetimes as well. So number one, so when you do ancestral work, please ask for the protection first. Second, depending on the kind of work you do with them, please ask for the ancestors, for their higher self to come in with the work. Because they can come in with all kinds of things. If you have an ancestor that was a jokester and they like to smoke and drink, they're gonna bring that energy with them, being a jokester, smoking and drinking. So you need to ask for their higher self, for their more divine self to come into the work. And then I'll add one more thing. Then after you do ancestral work, make sure you find a way to cleanse and clear yourself. So whether that's through, we can do the breathing that we did earlier, this breathing, that helps to release some things. Using essential oils is great, as I mentioned before, sort of smelling certain oils and kind of breathing, letting that sort of breathe through your entire system. You can also diffuse essential oils in your space. Also, and this is a really great one, taking a shower with like salt. So like you put salt, maybe salt and soap in the hand, and just, shower yourself with salt and soap is really great because that helps you do some energetic clearing and also some cord cutting. A bath also with like real salt, not like Epsom salt. Epsom salt is more for the muscles and the physical body. But like table salt, Himalayan salt is really good for the energy body to help clear the energy body. if you're one that might, if you have like high blood pressure, sometimes salt may not always be a benefit. So using coffee grinds is also another good option for like deep cleansing. So I would say you need to do some cleansing. So ask for protection before, when you get in the space, ask for the divine higher aspect of the ancestors. Then once you're done, do some deep cleansing. So I'll say that for you, Z, some of the things I mentioned you can do is kind of, you know, we're in the after space, is doing some cord cutting, like I sort of taught before, with the visualizing or using the hand, taking a bath with salt water, maybe if you have some essential oils like lavender, you can use some of that as well. Taking a shower also with salt as well, and so kind of help clear some things away. That will sort of help to sort of clear some basic things away, also, and sort of help remove some of the energy off you that's not yours.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, family, it's 8:30. I'm done. Thank you and good night or good morning. thank you for listening. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, brother. So awesome. Family, give some love in the chat. And we are going to share our closing slides and the special offer again that Kadeem mentioned earlier. So we'll drop that in the chat and then announce as well through visual. So Kadeem, can you say what this is and how it flows again for those who might need to be reminded?
Yes. So today's the new moon. I think it's like 5:26 p.m. maybe. Anyway, today's the new moon, and the new moon signifies varying things, but can also signify new beginnings as well. So with that, I'm offering a special offer. Pay $25 to have a 25-minute session with me. You can focus on anything that we sort of mentioned today in this workshop, other things that you might have in your mind that maybe you sort of want to work on. We'll work on it for 25 minutes. In order to get that session, to book that, you have to book that today. Pay through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You see all the information there. Cash App, $Kadeem1, and Venmo at Kadeem1, PayPal, Kadeem@Kadeem1.com. Do all that PayPal stuff, and then after you do that, send me an email to Kadeem@Kadeem1 to let me know that you paid, and then we'll set a schedule with you so we can have some one-on-one time and work on some of your things to help you live the life that you want as you move into this space of new beginnings and continuing the blessed journeys that you are all on.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Kadeem. We dropped that in the chat, so check it out, Facebookers as well as Zoomers, so that you can have this information. And don't hesitate. Take action. If something bubbled up in your belly, something came to mind, if something stirred your spirit, look there, be curious, without the heaviness. I love what you were talking about earlier, Kadeem. It's like, I need that. This is not about fixing anything. This is about your exploration and moving in the direction of your highest and most ascended self in this living body. All right, so contact information for Kadeem is here. Once again, it will be dropped into the chat and in the Facebook thread, so you can be in touch with Kadeem to move forward with your healing journey. And love offerings. When I think about the exchanges that happen in here, like Kadeem just said, 25 minutes for $25, but I think about what he's already offered to us that was complimentary, that was out of his generosity, that was out of his call for his life, and just Kadeem being Kadeem. And so we always share in this space that money is my own natural energy yield. So he has yielded unto you the good money, the good medicine that is part of his call for his life. And so we give back in the form of dollars and cents, what the world calls fiat. FIAT is another name for money, so that exchange can be amplified and we can manifest more abundance in different ways because of that ritual of giving. So we invite you to do that today in this Wake Up Everybody space using Zelle, QuickPay, utilizing Soul Leadership Development at gmail.com as the conduit for offering the monies in Zelle or QuickPay, and then Cash App, $Spirit of a Woman. And then there's the code, which has been dropped into the Facebook thread and the Zoom chat. And then the code that is for today's session, #681KAR. for Kadeem Alston-Roman. And if you want to give without having to think about it, I'm like, think about it, of course, to take the action, but meaning like having this as a placeholder monthly, you can give on a monthly basis. And that can be done by using these links in the space. I acknowledge those who have given already. Some see the notifications for those who have given. So thank you for just your generosity and presence of mind. And then you can give monthly. Once again, you can give $25 a month, $50 a month, $75 a month, or $100 a month. If you need another monetary configuration, just reach out to us and we can set that up for you so that you can give in that way. Just encouraging you to be generous with yourself by being generous with the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. And so we are excited. We had our brother in the space today. He came the other day, he jumped in and filled in for someone else. He's just so dope. And that's our brother, Nicholas Quasi Hurd, who is also a healer and an energy holder in this space. And we just salute all of the folks that just share this dopeness with us 5 days a week. So Finding the Vibe Within Part 2. He did Part 1 and I was able to be on the admin team to support that. So come on through for Part 2. It was just so delicious. And that is tomorrow, Monday. And then join us on Tuesday. Jamie came for the first time the other day last week. And then agreed to come back for Part 2 or for another session this week and has already booked herself for October. And I'm like, yes, Jamie. So join us on Tuesday with Jamie. Tools Are Us Toolbox on Tuesday. And let's see what she has to say for her second session. She's hooked now and I love it. The Woo Nation welcomes all new members. So I saw some new folks come into the space. And when we say new members, we don't mean you signed up, registered. We mean like you came in and co-created and held space with us. And so you're an automatic member in that regard. So whether it's your first time or your 50th time, come on back. You are a member. And we're here in this community to align with learning, elevating, and ascending. And so if this is your first day, we appreciate you, we acknowledge you, and we encourage you not to stop coming, but to join us again and again when you are available so that we can grow together. And just for you to know, we have a schedule. 5 days a week, we're in this space, and some sessions are longer than others. So today is a 90-minute session. It's Sunday. Tuesday and Thursdays are also 90-minute sessions. And then on Monday, like tomorrow and Wednesday, we have an appetizer for our Woo session, which is from 7 to 7:30. Sometimes it goes longer when it gets juicy and good. And if you want to receive reminders to come in the morning, and you're not already on our automated texting list, you can type in the number 74121 in your text. And then in the body of the words that you can put in for text messaging, you can put Woo Nation in caps, and then you'll get text messages each morning to participate. And once again, this is dropped in the chat as well. We have Woo swag. The wintertime is coming, so get yourself a sweatshirt. It can be a dark one, it can be a light one. You can bring the light by wearing like hot pink, a hot pink sweatshirt. And you can get t-shirts too. Like it doesn't mean you can't wear a t-shirt in the winter, maybe with a blazer on top or a sweater or cardigan. And then we have water bottles. You have to drink water all year round to stay hydrated in a line so your light can shine. Teacups and coffee cups or hot cocoa cups. You can purchase that so that you can have a mug during the winter with your sweatshirt. Laptop sleeves for the work that we're doing virtually or whatever you need to get done and you're traveling with it. Like I'm going on a trip in Washington, D.C. I need a sleeve for my trip so I can put my laptop in there. And then journals so we can write and do what Kadeem offered up to us. A bag to carry it all. And for everything that we're doing, safety is key. So wear your mask so you don't get COVID or other bugs like the flu that are circulating around. So use your link to purchase Woo swag. And we want to thank you for being here. We want to thank you, ask you to register for the sessions this week because we have a great lineup, as you can see, for everybody. If you're not on the Facebook page where you can actually watch the playbacks and watch this again because so much information was imparted, please join that link or those links are in here. We have a private page and a public page. The public page is where the action is and all the recordings and stuff. So jump in. We have an Instagram accounts. So at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, join that, YouTube, and email. If you have something you want to impart or share with us about your experience, email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And so I am complete with all of our Wake Up announcements and juiciness. So let us celebrate our beloved brother Kadeem, because he's deserving, by coming off mute, family. Don't be shy. Let's hear from you. Please, please, please.
Yeah. Here we go.
Thank
It was
you.
fantastic.
Thank you. This is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
God bless you, beloved. Thank you so much for
Beloved.
sharing.
Thank you.
Your energy, your wisdom.
So
God bless
amazing.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
And
brother.
protection
And
to
allowing
you,
us
Appreciate
to
you.
doors
grow
to
and
We
to
thank
Thank you
you.
for
He was
being.
continue
This was
really great.
amazing.
He
say
become more
shared
So
powerful
much.
in
very
you.
Everyone that
knowledgeable
you
Continue to
shared
be
was
the more
information.
beloved
amazing.
watching
individual.
Amazing.
Love
each and
you
every
and
Amazing,
journey of the
amazing,
people
Serving
who watch
amazing.
you
and grow in
It was
wisdom and honor and
amazing.
young
excellence.
So awesome.
and just
And we
growing
create.
and
God
taking
bless you.
Absolutely did a
power.
God
great
bless you.
job.
What
All
it
of
It
you.
was
was saying.
awesome.
What a
Amazing,
powerful
amazing, amazing,
being you
amazing.
are.
Thank you,
What a
Shawnee, for
awesome
being
being.
amazing.
Thank you.
So amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Love y'all and appreciate you.
Great day,
Yeah.
family.
Okay,
Love
have a
y'all.
good day.
Wake
Thank
up,
you.
everybody.
Love y'all
Time to
too.
wake up. Love y'all. Have a great day. Peace and blessing.
Thank you.
Love my whole family.